Welcome, in front of me is a Realme 6 and today I'll go over unboxing along with a brief overview of the device. So this is the box that it comes in, so nothing really special, just a box. Yeah, let's pop it open. There we go. Whoops. So in here, hey, welcome to Realme family. No one cares. Paperwork, no one cares. Get that out of the way. We got the phone itself. There we go. So I'm gonna set it aside for now. More paper, a charger with a nice kind of like yellowish branding because of the marking of the company. You can see inside it's as well, similar to what you call it, OnePlus, but instead of being red, it's yellow. I mean, theoretically, it's made by the same people, so that's why the chargers even look exactly the same. I just dropped that in here and set that to the side now. And we got the device itself. Pop it open. Now that device is already set up, so we don't have to go through the hassle of it. And the device has a 6.5-inch display, as you can see, well, right here, with a resolution of 1080p by 2400 and pixels per inch of 405 and 84.1 screen to body ratio. And the display also comes with a 90 Hz refresh rate, so it's fairly nice, smooth, crisp display. I really like the idea that manufacturers started adding higher refresh rate displays. It looks really nice in person. Now keep in mind that on the camera you will not be able to see the higher refresh rate at all. The video will be at 60 frames, also just kind of trashed by YouTube's algorithm that is trying to compress the video even further, so there won't be anything near what I'm seeing on the display. Then the device also comes with a 64 megapixel main shooter that can shoot at 4K, so it's at the back. I believe the main one is the one with the ring around it. I'm not sure why it's there, but there it is. And then it also has an 8 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro and 2 megapixel depth sensor. And like I said, it shoots at 4K but only at 30 frames. But the 1080p, if you want to drop down to 1080, you will be able to shoot at 30, 60 and also at slow motion of 120 frames. Then at the front, when it comes onto camera, it's a 12 megapixel wide sensor that can shoot 1080p 30 frames, so nothing really special here. At the front, and you have this little cutout, as you can see, so there's the camera. It's fairly minimalistic, although one thing that I realized, if you go to recovery mode, you have time in recovery mode, but it's not really optimized for this camera cutout, so the time is kind of blocked by the camera. I guess they didn't really think about that one. Then also when it comes down to the phone specifications further on, it has a 64 gig version of storage, but it also goes up to 128. Now I think the one that I have right here is a 64. No, okay, so this is a 128. So I was wrong. And you have also two versions of that. So you have the 4 gig and 8 gig version. Actually, no, also 6 gig. So you have basically the lowest one you can go, which I believe costs about like $220. Now the prices may vary, they're not exact really. So depending where you buy it and what time, the prices might be different. But it's somewhere around $220. And that is basically regarding the cheapest version, which is the 64 gig and 4 gigabyte RAM. Then you have the 128 6 gig version and 128 8 gig version. And all of those phones come with a UFS storage 2.1, which is just as faster storage than you are typically used to on the devices. So it's somewhere similar to like an SSD in terms of performance, although I don't think it's as quick. But still way better than what we're used to having on our phones. And then you also have a 4300 milliamp battery, and it's about it when it comes down to like the specifications of the device. Now the device has Android skin, and I believe it comes with an Android 10, although I'll quickly check it just to be certain and not where is it? About phone, there we go. And yep, there it is, Android 10. So you have the newest version of Android with, what is it, Realme UI version V1. So it comes with like a Realme UI, whatever it is. Just the skin over this. I'm personally not the greatest fan of it. It looks kind of meh. Nothing really special here. But some people might like it. I'm just not a fan of it. So there we go. In terms of like the appearance of it, it tries to be as stock as possible, I would say. As you can see, you have the typical Google up tray and icons, but then when you pull down the notification panel, it just kind of looks different. They have their like design for certain settings, toggles and stuff like that, and it doesn't look as great in my opinion. Apart from that, you also have this panel on the side, cool, with a bunch of like shortcuts that you can have here, and also apps that you can quickly launch from here. And yeah, so that's basically it. Now the device also has a fingerprint sensor, although it's not under the display as we probably are used to by now. It's on the power key, as you can see right here. So that is the fingerprint sensor, and that's the only thing you can find on the right side of the device. Now on the left side you have the 2 volume rockers and a SIM tray, and it also doubles, I believe, as a SD tray. I think it takes one of, like instead of an SD card, you can have also a SIM card, so 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM and 1 SD. And then on the top you have the speaker grill, right here, fairly minimalistic, it doesn't really get in the way of anything. The camera, like we've already seen before. At the bottom you do have a headphone jack, which is quite rare at this time. Type-C charging port, microphones I believe, and speaker grill. And at the top you got nothing. And the back of the device, you have the quadruple cameras, as you can see, with an LED flash right here. And just keep in mind the cameras do have some significant bump to them, so it's not small by any means. And if you were to place it on the table, you can see it wobbles quite significantly, so yeah, it protrudes there quite severely. And apart from that, as you can see on the back, you only have the Realme branding right here, some sticker they can take off, and this whatever those are called, CE or whatever, kind of logo, with some writing on over here, GIS manufacturing, stuff like that. And yeah, the display doesn't have any like marking on the front. You only have the camera, and that's about it, and then seamless glass. The edges are not curved in any way, so it's just a flat display. So if you're not a fan of these curved displays, this device doesn't have it. And yeah, so finishing it up, the device for about $200, in my opinion, is really decent. It comes with a MediaTek processor, which I wouldn't say it's the best. I'm more of a fan of Snapdragons, primarily I think because I'm just used to having them in almost every device. But honestly, for $200, MediaTek, from what I've seen, it worked really well. You have the 90 Hz display, which I also really like. The cameras, can do a quick test maybe, how the photos come out on here. Let me just capture something like right, just take a mug right here. So I wouldn't really expect anything. Trying to see if the macro lens captures anything, but let's see. So just took these two photos. I'm not really trying to do anything crazy here, just so you can see the level of detail on it. So if you start zooming in, it still retains, but it looks a little bit grainy and unclear, even though the room in here is really well lit. So there is no reason for this kind of like bit of graininess to the photos. And then let's see the mug itself as well. So there's the mug, and the mug came out fairly okay, although it's still not as sharp as I would like it to be. Only in like one place it looks like it does bokeh, but not very well. So you have the back is bokeh, and also it starts losing sharpness all around, as long as it's basically this portion right here seems to be in focus, and everything below starts losing it. Now we have different modes, as you can see right here. You have the slow mo, time lapse, ultra macro, expert, panorama. What else is here? And the night mode, so you can shoot also photos at night, which is nice. And but like I said, for the price, I'm not expecting this device to basically compete against the newest flagships on the market. And honestly, for the $200, even if it would go for $300, it's an amazing phone for how much it costs. Not a fan of the UI skin over it, but for the price that it costs, I wouldn't be complaining if I got this device. So yeah, honestly, I recommend this device. It seems to work fairly well. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.